Good afternoon, everyone. Again, this is Samuel Lombardo, Executive Director, CEO of SL Models and Talent Agency, Suave Dance Studios, LLC, Lions Publishing and Productions, LLC, and the V Smart Vocational School of Artists, Models, and Radiant Talent. Unleash the artist within and let your light shine. This video is basically going to be the regulations set forth by the Council of the Better Business Bureau that I want to mention to you. I have been telling you at least within the past 5 videos, maybe, well, 3 to 5 videos. So we're in the process of actually becoming accredited through the BBB. We have already been recognized by them, and so they have decided that they wanted to provide the ample opportunity that SL Models and Talent Agency, LLC, through the Michigan office, would be able to establish a relationship with the Better Business Bureau through their accreditation process. And that's where we're at now. Now, when we actually get approved, we will let you know, and that will all be part of the actual introduction and all that going forward. But for now, I want to let you know what the criteria is to even become accredited, as to why it would be that we would be accredited. And therefore, when you see that in our advertisements as a watermark or whatever the case may be on this video, you would know that we are exactly who we say we are. And you will also realize that the accreditation process is different than just being recognized, because I think you can still get a grading. Now, people can still complain about the agency and things like that, like they would normally anywhere else, but how they have contacted me, it almost seemed like they literally saw an open opportunity with a company that has not yet had any issues or concerns relating to the Better Business Bureau standards. So let me explain what they are. Bbb Accreditation Standards. And this you can find on bbb.org/BBB Accreditation Standards. BBB Accreditation Standards represent standards for business accreditation by BBBs in North America. These standards are based on BBB's determination of the attributes of a better business. They incorporate not only lawful business practices, but also BBB's experience with ethical advertising, selling, and customer experiences. For a business to qualify for BBB accreditation, it must continually meet these standards. Not all businesses will qualify for BBB accreditation. So don't get that when someone says, oh, well, we have an A+ rating in the BBB or whatever the case may be, unless it actually says next to it accredited, a lot of that could just be, I mean, a number of things. I've worked with an agency and all kinds of, like even an online gaming site, where they would actually turn around and have their own staff members do their own reviews, and they would all be 5 stars to have people believe that they were like the #1 blah 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 whatever. But the reality is that if they're going to claim that they are with the Better Business Bureau and accredited, I'm going to contact the Bureau to the BBB, the council, to find out if legitimately they are accredited. Now, mind you, I said that I'm in the process of being accredited, so I don't want you guys to be sitting there twisting what I'm saying and then trying to let them know, oh, well, this person claims that they're a member of the BBB, because that's not what I am saying. Which is the whole point of me why I'm actually reading the standards. Not only for myself, because I already know them, they're already working with my file, but for you guys who are a small business who may want to look into being the real thing for people out there. It's very important to have an accreditation like this nowadays, because nobody is going to turn around and believe in a company or invest in a company that all they are looking for is the dollar, but cannot actually provide the service that they claim they have. So BBB charges a fee for BBB accreditation. Okay, this fee supports BBB's efforts to fulfill its mission of advancing marketplace trust. BBB accreditation fees are based on several factors, including the size of business. To be accredited by BBB, a business or organization affirms that it meets and will abide by the following standards. 1. Build trust. Establish and maintain a positive track record in the marketplace. So they wouldn't have even want to talk to me if they didn't at least see that part. Okay. A, be actively selling products or services for at least 6 months prior to application, or have previously operated a similar business with an eligible business performance track record. B, fulfill all competency and trade licensing requirements. So you got to make sure that you have all that stuff up and ready. C, be free from government action that demonstrates a significant failure to support BBB ethical principles. What does that basically mean? It'd be the same way like my agency is trying to be unionized, and we have figured it out that it would probably be beneficial to have a sub-agent from the agency be responsible for union contracts, okay? Well, long story short, if the agency was to try to become a franchise agency, for right now, unless things get revised anyway, there would be a conflict of interest, because there are some things that we do that involve fees, but they're not scam-related issues that cause the fees. It's just what they happen to be. Like, we're doing a live open call. We're doing, well, open calls don't normally have a fee anyway. We say be prepared with $100. Why? Because of the fact being now our photographers charge us to get the photography work, and we have the photo release, we need to be able to work all that out. That we have the photos in the up in front, and then start doing the booking process. But that's the only thing about that. And to be honest, we're probably going to even change that around soon. But for now, that's what we tell everyone. But we don't charge anybody to go to the open call. It is out of pocket to the agency that we're doing it, that we're scouting or open to any talent. We do it online even. We're not going to tell you that it's $50 or whatever to actually do, you know, an open call audition / interview. So be free from government action that demonstrates a significant failure to support BBB ethical principles. Don't have any conflicts of interest. This is basically what that's saying. BBB evaluates the action and makes a determination on adherence to the standard based on the nature of the violation and the extent of harm it caused or is alleged to have caused, whether it was caused or condoned by management and actions taken to resolve underlying issues that led to the government action. So don't do anything that would be of a conflict of interest. And then D, maintain at least a B rating in all company-owned locations and its headquarters. Now, in this day and age, a B rating is really a C rating. You need an A++ to actually be considered 100%. In my opinion. So I usually tell folks that you need at least an A rating. We may think about a B+ rating if you're going to be a signatory, because it's one thing to be a franchise to a union, but if the union knows so many things as well, like they are trying to calm things and bring equal pay and things like that. Like we have those contracts. So we abide pretty much by everything that the union would be requesting us to do. It's just that there are some things that they consider like very, very, maybe one or two little things that we're trying to tweak up to meet the qualifications to be a franchisee based off of what I'm reading in the application. But it's, again, limiting us to, like, what all we can do, despite the fact that we still write our contracts to clients as if they have to, as if we are providing what the union would otherwise want clients or agencies to actually pay. So we are doing our part, but we are not a union. We're an agency. We are developing a union, which is a whole nother topic for another video. But we are not in the union as of yet. I have just looked at the guidelines for it, and there was a couple of phone calls, you know, here and there. But right now we're trying to establish a relationship with them, basically starting it right off with the contracts, because everything that we have in our contract really do abide by the laws and the guidelines of the entertainment industry, as well as equal pay for equal rights for all people. So it's there. The only thing that's not there is the fact that they can get the health insurance or whatever that a union would supply to the artists, because of the fact being, and we're even establishing that. So we get that far, then we probably are almost on our way to becoming a union. So that's where I'm at. That's what I wanted to bring to your attention in regards to that situation. Okay, number 2, advertise honestly. don't sit there. Now, when they say advertise honestly, don't sit there and be like, they even told me this. There is a difference between the two particles, a and the. So when I was sitting there at one point in time, and I think some of you might have remembered that, in the mission it said that that SLMTA is the leading agency worldwide. Well, now we've had a little bit of a constructive criticism that basically states that it doesn't really fit with any of the other agencies out there. So while we know that we are trying our best and that there are international agencies that are working with us and that we are a national agency, we have decided that we are considered a leading and that we should never reconsider the leading because nobody approved us to be the leading of anything. All right. So it's just little simple things like that. And like, if you're going to say that you have pro models, but your pro models are beginning, then what you could say to make it sound a little bit brighter is we have one of the best emerging artists in the local area of Trenton, New Jersey. I was just using it as an example. Instead of trying to promote it as if you are the best in Trenton, New Jersey for all pro model, and then you go and you're speaking to the individuals and you're doing different things and you finding out that even with your relationships with your own clients, are they actually pro? Because it is misleading, and that's what this is saying. Even if it's not misleading, you would rather want to be more careful than not. Now, does that mean that you're getting a handout? No, it doesn't mean that you're giving a handout. It just means that you are being careful, transparent, being a real company to serve the needs of the entertainment industry. Since I'm specifically talking about this industry. So there should not be any issues as to rewording what you have. See, when I think of pro models, I'm thinking of somebody who has been on a magazine, maybe got references of 10 pages worth of information, a resume that's like 20 pages in length that could tell you everything about the movie they were in, what part they were playing, all kinds of stuff, who was the producer. So on, so forth. So, with that being the case, we know how important it is to not be misled or to mislead in any way, shape, or form. And we actually have an excuse that why we will not do that. And here it is. It's a good excuse. Why? Because follow established legal and ethical advertising and selling practices, including but not limited to the Bbb Code of Advertising. A. Work with Bbb and agree to modify, substantiate or discontinue advertising and selling practices when recommended. Now, an example of that would be this. There was one of my events were outdated because basically I had a new date for the event. And the event is what it is. So what you see is what you're going to get. Okay? But the issue was, as I brought up that it was a new date, well, they told me that I had to change the date to initiate the new date. That is an example of what it means to work with them. So yeah, there are going to be issues where to get through the accreditation process, so you may have to tweak some things or do whatever it is that you need to do. But the one thing that I do realize, even when it comes to BBB, and that goes for any of the BBBs, but the council period, is that some need to know the industries that they would be working with, because here, or do the research in it, because here's the problem. Anybody could go ahead and tweak exactly what is being said, but the reality is going to be, would they actually be able to complete what was being said? Now, me, I don't have nothing to hide. I would actually go to the executive director and be like, here's a VIP package for you, and you can attend a live masquerade ball. Why? Because I don't have nothing to hide. Everything that's in that package, everything that I am selling, everything that is what it is what is going to be delivered. Will there be things that might get amended periodically in there? Sure. You know, depending on if there were changes, such as some of the awards and things like that, we may have to amend it a little bit. But it's not going to be amended to the point where there's not going to be an exposition, that it wouldn't be free food and drinks included. That all that stuff that is in there will be in there. The things that would be tweaked is, and that's why I didn't even advertise that part yet, like what the exact showcases were, because they're different things, and I wanted to try to see if some of my collabs would actually be able to work that part out. But I cannot do it for a ridiculous amount fees, because they're already paying a lot to even come to the event as it is. What I'm thinking about doing is, when I do a showcase, it's simply going to be like this. Let's say it's a fashion runway showcase, and I wanted it to bring JCPenney's, Vogue, any other designers like H&M, you know, big name brand stores and designers, okay, to the showcase. And then we have very particular models that we are trying to brand up, or not brand up, but to build up, models to build up. See, then we would be able to do the showcase for the fashion design. Otherwise, we might be doing showcases for artists to go there and do live singing and songwriting promotions. We may be doing both, because we have the whole day, the masquerade ball, It's gonna, for the most part, it will be set up except for some tabletop things. Um, so we would actually be able to arrange the room where the stage could be used through the whole entire period. Um, but that's where we're at right now. And if we actually have a real good success record with the vendors that we have and then good sponsors, then what we are going to do is we might end up doing what we call early bird registrations, where we will knock down the price. And with the vendors, if we have a very good turnout with that, then we might start our exposition on Saturday night. And then I would just have to, because I found out that nobody really booked it for the night before. So we might be able to just utilize the whole space, and then I would just pay for the extra day. And then, Friday night, you could be there by Friday night. We could set up. And then we have a whole full weekend to have this event, and then it can end with the masquerade ball. And then Monday afternoon have our after party, or Monday evening. Everything is precisely planned to the T, even to the fact that we would actually have those who have flown in already be to the airport before the flight was canceled, after the evening after party, meaning that, their last day in the hotel would be the Monday morning, but then they could still attend the after party, and then they would fly out. I mean, everything is precisely planned to the T. Some may be able to stay a little bit. That's why we have it up until 9. Well, we're asking till 10, but up until 9. Why? Because the last specific plane, you're probably wanting to get there by 8, so we want to get something started at 6, and everything can be done by 8 so that you'd be out, during the after party. Now, also, there is the option that you can get your own hotel for that extra day. You can do that, but we could talk more about that later in another video. So, continuing on, the second thing that you want to do to advertise honestly is use the BBB trademark and BBB affiliation statements under license and as outlined in usage policies then in effect. So in other words, they are actually, once you are accredited, they are actually encouraging you to use your trademark. Number 3, and there are appropriate ways to use a trademark. Number 3, tell the truth. Honestly represent products and services, including clear and prominent disclosures of all material terms. Be clear in all written and verbal representations, and include all relevant facts in all transactions. So, for example, don't try to write an agreement in the company or for any collaboration or whatever. Don't try to write an agreement that really belongs in 2 or 3 other agreements. You may have to type up 4 other agreements in order to do the work, to make it work, and that it sounds consistent to what your business model is. Number 4, be transparent. Openly identify the nature, location, and ownership of the business, and clearly and prominently disclose all material facts that bear on a customer's decision to buy. A. Upon request, promptly provide BBB with all information requested to ensure adherence to Bbb standards. B. Clearly and prominently provide to customers 1. Direct and effective means to contact the business. 2. The business return refund policy. 3. Any recurring commitment into which the customer may be entering, including automatic renewals, payments, or other financial commitments. 4. Total cost of the transaction, including tax, shipping, and handling, and other related charges prior to completion of the transaction. 5. Any known delays or shortages of stock. And 6. A receipt summarizing the transaction after the purchase. Number 5. Honor promises. Fulfill all contracts, commitments, and representations. Don't say that you're going to do one thing and it turns out to be another. Number 6. Be responsive. Address disputes forwarded by BBB quickly and in good faith. A. Provide a response to each complaint that 1. Is professional, 2. Addresses all significant issues raised by the complainant, 3. Includes appropriate evidence and documents supporting the business position, and 4. Explains why any relief sought by the complainant cannot or should not be granted. And then B. Participate in mediation, arbitration, or other dispute resolution services as requested by BBB. C. Honor any settlements, agreements, or decisions reached as an outcome of a dispute resolution process. D. Cooperate with BBB in efforts to eliminate the underlying cause of pattern of customer complaints that are identified by BBB. 7. Safeguard privacy. Protect any data collected against unauthorized disclosure and fraud. Collect personal information only as needed, and respect the preferences of customers regarding the use of their information. A. Disclose handling practices for personal information, including but not limited to 1. What information is collected, 2. How it is used, 3. With whom it is shared, 4. How it can be corrected, 5. How it is secured, 6. How policy changes will be communicated, and 7. How to address concerns over misuse of personal data. B. Ensure sensitive data, credit card, bank account numbers, Social Security, social insurance numbers, salary or other personal financial or health information is collected and transmitted via secure means. Businesses will comply with applicable legal requirements and industry standards for the protection and proper disposal of all sensitive data, both online and offline. C. respect customer preferences regarding contact by telephone and email, and remedy the underlying cause of any failure to do so. And then number 8, embody integrity. Approach all business dealings, marketplace transactions, and commitments with integrity, good faith, and intend to do what is reasonably expected. A. Avoid involvement by the business or its principal in activities that reflect unfavorably on or otherwise adversely affect the public image of BBB or its accredited businesses. Then it also states, please also refer to BBB Business Partner Code of Conduct, effective 6/1/2020. So this is recently. The BBB Business Partner Code of Conduct. As a leader in advancing marketplace trust, BBB sets high ethical standards for business conduct. We also apply these standards to ourselves and our business partners. The BBB Business Partner Code of Conduct, the code, helps ensure that BBB business partners share our commitment to an ethical marketplace. For the purpose of this code, BBB refers to any Better Business Bureau, International Association of Better Business Bureaus, and Better Business Bureau Institute for Marketplace Trust. Business partners refers to suppliers that contract to provide BBB with any product or service, and other organizations that contract with BBB to accomplish its mission, and includes the employees, agents, and contractors of business partners. Business partners does not include BBB accredited businesses unless they form a contractual relationship with BBB beyond their accreditation by BBB. BBB expects that business partners will conduct their business with or on behalf of BBB in compliance with the code. As appropriate, preference will be given to business partners that demonstrate greater commitment to this code and ethical standards generally. 1. Start with trust. Although business partners are independent individuals or business entities, their actions may impact and reflect upon BBB. Business partners should understand and comply with the Business Partner Code and monitor their compliance through their own administrative processes. 2. Maintain legal and regulatory compliance. In their work on behalf of BBB, business partners will conduct their business activities in full compliance with applicable laws and regulations in all jurisdictions in which they operate, including laws and regulations on bribery, corruption, and prohibited business practices in the countries in which they conduct business. Business partners will not make any offer, payment, consideration, or benefit of any kind which constitutes an illegal or corrupt practice, either directly or indirectly on behalf of BBB, as an inducement or reward for entering into a contract or in connection with the provision of any goods or services under a contract. 3. Advertise honestly. Here again. 3.1. Business partners that advertise or solicit accreditation, sponsorship, or any other financial support on behalf of BBB should ensure that all BBB-related advertising or solicitations comply in all respects with BBB policies related to accreditation, the BBB Code of Advertising, and all laws, regulations, and guides relating to advertising, solicitation, sponsorships, and disclosure of non-deductibility of contributions. 3.2. Business partners may use BBB trademarks only, 1, to create products, materials, or websites for direct use by BBB, or 2, as a specifically permitted by BBB policies or by IABBB in writing. Unless IABBB has granted permission, business partners should not use the BBB name or other BBB marks on business partners' material, including websites and URLs. Business partners should not use the BBB name or other BBB marks in a manner that represents or infers business partner to be BBB or business partners employee to be employees of BBB. 3.3. BBB does not endorse specific products or services unless specifically provided by BBB policies. Business partners should not publicize their business relationships with BBB or identify BBB as a customer without specific permission from BBB in writing, and then only in the manner, context, and language approved by BBB. This provision does not prohibit BBB from participating in affinity programs consistent with BBB policies. Number 4, safeguard data and privacy. 4.1. Business partners should ensure the security and confidentiality of BBB proprietary information, business, charity, consumer, and donor information entrusted to BBB, and data about visitors to BBB domains, collectively confidential information. Business partners should have policies and procedures in place to prevent disclosure of confidential information to unauthorized parties. In their work on behalf of BBB, business partners should maintain physical, technical, and procedural safeguards in compliance with applicable laws, technology, and information security requirements applicable to BBBs, and any specifications established by IABBB for access to BBB information technology systems and BBB domains. 4.2. Business partners that, in their work on behalf of BBB, interact with visitors to their own website should disclose in a privacy statement, policy, or elsewhere on the websites the following: what information they collect, with whom it is shared, how it can be corrected, how it is secured, how policy changes will be communicated, and how to address concerns over misuse of personal data. 4.3. Business partners that, in their work on behalf of BBB, collect identifying information of businesses or individuals should respect contact preferences regarding contact by telephone, fax, and email, and communicate changes in preferences to BBB. 4.4. Business partners that, in their work on behalf of BBB, handle payment card information will certify annually their compliance with the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards, PCI DSS. 4.5. Business partners that administer BBB email systems will adopt domain-based message authentication reporting and conforming DMARC specifications. 4.6. Business partners whose product or service collects information about or track visitors to any BBB domain will certify that their product or service supports BBB's compliance with the Digital Alliance self-regulatory principles, including the self-regulatory principles for online behavioral advertising, OBA principles, the multi-site data principles, MSD principles, and the mobile guidance, MG, collectively the principles. Business partners that subcontract or otherwise engage other companies to fulfill any obligations under BBB contracts should ensure that such companies' products or services are also compliant with the principles. The principles can be assessed at http://www.aboutads.info/principles/. Further, business partners will not transfer any information collected from any BBB domain for any purpose beyond the scope of activities necessary to fulfill the responsibilities under contracts with BBB without providing to IABBB's Chief Information Officer an explanation of the proposed data transfer and use and receiving express permission for such transfer and use. Number 5, embody integrity. 5.1. Business partners should demonstrate commitment to ethical practices in their business conduct and performance of services and production of products on behalf of BBB. Business partners will comply with BBB policies affecting the relationship with BBB. 5.2. Business partners should share BBB's commitment to maintaining a workplace where people are treated with dignity and respect. In their work on behalf of BBB, business partners will follow all applicable wage benefit, child labor, workplace safety, discrimination, and labor laws. While we recognize and respect cultural differences in their work on behalf of BBB, business partners will not engage in discrimination based on age, race, color, religion, sex, gender identity, pregnancy, national origin, citizenship status, disability, sexual orientation, marital status, domestic partner status, or veteran status. 5.3. BBB depends on the trust and confidence of businesses, charities, consumers, and donors. It is important that we avoid activities that create actual and perceived conflicts of interest. BBB employees are not permitted to give or receive anything of value intended to influence a decision. Business partners will not offer gifts that could be perceived to influence sound business judgment. BBB makes purchasing decisions based on the merit of business partners, products, and services, not on gifts, entertainment, or other business courtesies. And then number 6, report violations of the code. Business partners should report a possible violation of the code that directly affects BBB or the transaction with BBB. Business partners are encouraged to work with their primary contact at BBB or his or her supervisor to resolve the situation. If this is not possible or appropriate, reports may be made to an officer of the contracting BBB entity or the IABBB General Counsel. So, in this 1 hour block of the Council of Better Business Bureau Standards, we have now identified exactly everything that SL Models and Talent Agency LLC would be standing for. And therefore, if it breaks any of these rules or regulations right at the top, there could be a conflict of interest, because we are looking to serve in a transparent and influential way. Be real, be smart, be courageous. Unleash the artist within and let your light shine. Until next time, may you have a blessed day.